It's insane.
Alright guys, so we got a call from Justin and Matt. They're out in the pre-runner. They told us that they blew a belt around mile 115, and unfortunately the belt seems to have blown out the belt housing and taken the wiring harness with it. So we had to drop the trailer and we're on our way to go find them right now because they're in the middle of nowhere and there's no road out here. So we're literally taking, as you can see, just a dirt path that someone else has managed not to get stuck on. We didn't film, well, Jonah filmed it, but I didn't narrate the heaviest part. It was looking doubtful for a minute. As you can tell, the truck's covered in mud, which we'll have to tell Justin that we need to get a car wash. See, and then you sink like this, and it's just not the most fun. So yeah, we got about, looks like a mile left of this stuff, and then we'll be back out on race course, and then hopefully we can locate these guys and figure out a better way to take them back, because this is not the way to go.
They say that Santa Fe is less than 90 miles away. I got time to roll a number and rent a car.
Hey, Justin from Cognito here. Today's Friday. We just got through testing the race car out on the course. All week's been pretty good. Had our pre-runner out starting on Monday, pre-running, and pre-ran Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday had a little pre-running mishap. Actually ran it a bit too hard on the dry lake bed and broke a belt, and it was a pretty violent break, and actually that belt broke through the cover, the clutch cover, grabbed the wiring harness, shift cables, brake line, wrapped it all up in the drive line because we were doing 80 miles an hour. Wrapped it all up in the drive line. I didn't know what happened at the time, but engine stopped, dash went blank, no power at all, and we had to roll to a stop, no brakes. Luckily it didn't happen in a bad spot. Rolled to a stop and then just heard fluid just hitting the ground. I didn't know if we blew an engine, what. So got out of the car, I see coolant just hitting the ground and realized what happened. And that belt actually also grabbed a hold of the coolant lines underneath the back seats of the car and pulled them apart. There's a couple that pulled them apart. So if you've been following the Instagram stories, you saw how dirty the chase truck was. The guys had to get out to retrieve us, and that's on a dry lake bed, which looks dry, but a couple inches down it isn't so dry. So you know, they got out to us and towed that car back in. My buddy Matt was a champ and got in the driver's seat, and we dusted him out all the way back to the highway. But that's Baja. I mean, this is kind of how it goes down here. So get that stuff out of the way. Got tech and contingency done this morning. Daniel, he's a trooper, actually got in line at contingency at like, I think 10 o'clock last night. It was like 6th car there. So that's great, because if you go to tech and contingency, if you get in that line at 6 a.m. this morning, we would still be there right now. It'd be an 8-hour ordeal. So it's good to get that out of the way. Thanks, Daniel, for putting us in line there. Sorry about your lack of sleep. But we just ran the car on the course, did the first 30 miles in the race car. Shake it down, car's tight. Everything looks good at the end. You know, if you've been following along, you saw we mounted a Starlink to the race car. So the goal here is to be able to stream from a GoPro through Starlink to you out there watching. So fingers crossed, we're hoping it's going to work. We just did a little trial run on our test there with cameras facing us. So if you saw it at all, you saw us bouncing around in the car a lot. It's pretty rough out there. But during the race tomorrow, we're going to get the camera flipped around, looking at the course. And I mean, as long as this thing stays connected, this is kind of trial run, you guys will be able to follow along. So to finish up talking about the week, really, it's a fast course, but a super rough course and a lot of rocks. Got some technical sections too, but overall it's probably going to be a 52 mile an hour average, I think. So 286 mile course, we're going to do it in under 6 hours, I think, as long as there's no issues. Man, ITP tires, outstanding. No flat tires during pre-running. Knock on wood, running the same tires on the race car. So looking forward to a nice smooth race, keep the tires rolling all day long. KMC wheels are great. Their forged wheels are super tough, so no bent wheels, no broken wheels, nothing like that. And there's a lot to be said about that with as many rocks that are out there. Man, Polaris car's tough. This is a Pro R. They're fast, plenty of power, and we're going to make one pit stop out there on course to take some fuel, and that's all we'll have to do in that 286 miles, as long as I don't smash any rocks I'm not supposed to smash into. But all in all, man, I'm glad to have my team down here. Thanks to everybody who came down to support, and thanks to Matt Scarpuzzi from Savage for coming, taking the whole week and coming down and pre-running with me. This is a big undertaking. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of money, it's a commitment, so really appreciate all the guys coming down to help us out. It's crazy. Hey, I'm Justin, standing next to my Cognito Monster Energy Polaris Razor. We're about ready to take off, go get into staging for the San Felipe 250, and get this race started.
Alright guys, so we're sitting around race mile 96 waiting for the arrival of the race car. We're just doing a visual as they fly by, and then we'll be heading to our actual fuel and pit stop. They left the line this morning at about 10:20. It is currently 11:19, and we just got an update that they're at race mile 50. So everything's all good so far. They started 17th, they're already up in 8th, and we hope to see them soon and see where they end up position-wise by the time they get here. All right, guys, so we're sitting around race mile 240 right now. This isn't going to be a pit for us, hopefully. It's just going to be a visual. We had our first pit with Chase 1, which is this truck, earlier. Unfortunately, before the guys could make it to us, they had a flat tire on the race car. They got it swapped. They got to us. we threw another spare on the back of the car, and right before we let them go, after fueling and throwing water in the car, we noticed that the right rear axle was done. So we did a reasonably quick axle swap, got it sent off. They took off again, and shortly after that we got a call from them that they got another flat, which they also swapped. They got back on track again, made it to their second, which was supposed to be just a visual pit with Chase 2, and when they got there, they were just going to throw another spare tire on the back of the car, and the car was making a weird noise. Turned out that we lost a rear spindle. I don't know what side, so they had to replace a spindle, and we also had a bent tie rod. So they got the tie rod straightened out the best they could. They replaced the rear spindle. The car's back on the road again, and now we are sitting over by race mile 240, 235, awaiting the arrival of these guys to check in with them. Hopefully everything's good and they don't have to stop. Hopefully they can just keep going. So that's racing, and we'll have to see what's going on.